Hello and a very warm welcome to all the lovely viewers of Doordarshan. I'm Riddhi Sharma and our today's guest is Mrs. Vandana Raj, a writer, filmmaker and a curator of museums. What made you take up the work of museum curation? Why did you choose it?
Museums is one of the most interesting ways of showcasing any society's culture and heritage. Any society's history can be very well portrayed there. Sadly, in our country, museums are not spaces which are often visited by people. And this has always been, a point of pain for me, that whenever I would visit anywhere across the world, anywhere that we would go, the first thing that I would go and see is a museum, because that is what showcases us, that society's culture and heritage and icons. But doesn't happen so in our country.
Yeah. You said you worked on museums on Gandhiji. So personally, are you inspired by him and his teachings?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just me, my entire team got very passionately involved, not just after we got the project, but even much before that. We have done, a lot of literature for children with Gandhiji as one of the protagonists. About 2010 and 11, we came out with this publication called Wise Monkeys. Now, this publication is a developmental, issue. We wanted to talk about inculcating basic health, hygiene and sanitation values in children, sanitation habits, sorry. And so we thought we will use protagonists, such protagonists which are known, is worldly accepted. So we use Gandhiji as a protagonist and his 3 monkeys. And then these are the series of books that we've developed. So you have Gandhiji, a very endearing comic book character, and his 3 monkeys, and through them we narrate stories like simple things like brushing your teeth, dental hygiene, and eating the right food, keeping yourself clean and healthy. And that was our first brush up with him in 2009 and 10. It is the first museum of its kind devoted to Morarji Desai. It is located in Valsad district, his hometown. And today I can proudly say we've just finished 1 year there, and in spite of being a small town, we still have about 500 to 600 visitors every single week. And there is a nominal ticketed amount just to ensure that the space is rightly used. So I think it's a huge achievement for any museum in terms of footfalls and in terms of what people take back home.
Indeed it is, and it's a great way so that people can connect, especially the youngsters can connect with the freedom fighters. They can get to know about them, relive and revisit the moments, right? How long does it usually take to complete the curation work?
I wish there was a standard ballpark figure I could say. We have been able to develop museums in 45-50 days, and ideally we would like to have 3 to 4 months.
What kind of challenges do you face while working on the museums?
Well, challenges can be many. Largely, if we are dealing with history, right, then the challenge is to get content, whether it's getting photographs, because you're talking of historical evidences. Most of the times you don't get pictures which are free to use, because even our own country's leaders, leaders, rare pictures or even otherwise are all owned by foreigners in other countries. So either you have to buy from them or you have to get the license to use, which is a long, lengthy process. So I think the first pain point for any curator, if you're doing a museum which talks about a legend or a personality, is getting the basic content together, whether it is video footage or still photographs. After that, once you have that raw material with you, then it's the challenge of collating everything and presenting it in the given time frame. So, the most challenging according to me is collating the data. Project has a different challenge in the museum space, and like I said, if you are dealing with history or legends of the past, then it is content, figuring out the content in terms of pictures or videos. Otherwise, it's like any other project. Me and my team are highly passionate about what we do. So, for us, every challenge becomes an opportunity to prove. So, after a point, we don't look at it as a challenge. It is an opportunity to grow, to showcase, to celebrate our Indianness and celebrate our culture.
You worked on another museum called The Making of Mahatma Mandir. How is it different from Gandhi to Mahatma? And what all things have you taken into consideration so as to avoid any similarities between the two?
Mahatma Mandir was a museum that we've developed, which kind of showcases the journey of how this entire convention center evolved. So, there was the vision behind it. The entire Dandi March has been spatially translated into design. The inclination of the entire building is in the form of sea waves. So, there were very interesting facets of it. Now, the entire space has been visualized by, like I said, Modi ji. Making of Mahatma Mandir is nothing to do with an icon. Again, here we have used a lot of new age technology. We have used, for the first time in our country, we developed Oculus based AR application, wherein we gave people headset. So, it's an eyeglass set, and as you move your head, you could move around the entire space. So, if you kind of look down, you see the floor of the convention center. You look up, you see the ceiling and the height, and you just move in, and you can move around the entire space. So, we've done very interesting interactive installations there using the joystick, lot of interactive kiosks, AR interactive, which is augmented reality interactives. We have very innovatively used 3D projection mapping, and one of the most interesting things there is 3D stereoscopic theater, where we have created a film where you watch the film with glasses and you get the impact of the 3D. Yeah, so
what are your expectations with digital media in the field of museum curation? Where do you see the future going?
Yeah, the future is very exciting. If you have to keep up with the evolving technology, you also need to keep up with your skill set to use this technology. So, most of the people in my studio are multi-skilled now, and that has happened over a period of few years. So, my animator is also somebody who can curate a space and is also somebody who can illustrate. So, my programmer can also edit and can also do programming for a mobile application. So, unless we keep evolving and we keep learning, we've realized that we will not be able to keep up with times, and we feel that everything that you see in the physical world today may go into the virtual world, and that's where I see museums happening. But that doesn't mean to say that conventional museums in the physical space will go off, but the museums in physical spaces will become more interactive, more engaging, and more invigorating. And I'm so sure that the Gen Next will start going to museums if we are successful enough to develop such spaces.
Are you planning to expand this digital media curation to the other parts of the country and for other personalities also? I've thought of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have been invited in a couple of places to showcase our work, and these are fairly larger projects. It takes some time to kind of evolve and happen. So, I'm very sure by next time when we meet and talk, we would have created and curated many more museums across the country. Thank you.
Freedom allows us to make choices and exercise our judgment. it also allows us to be in control of our lives and our own destinies. Let's remember and thank all the freedom fighters, not just one day or a couple of days in a year, but for every single day of our lives. For people who held independence dearer than bread and joy, for people who chose to die, people who've sacrificed their lives for our independence, for your independence, for India's independence. We owe our freedom to them. Please respect it, value it, but at the same time, do not exercise it at the expense of others' freedom. On that note, I, Riddhi Sharma, on behalf of Doordarshan, take leave of you. Always remember that one man's rights end where the other man's nose begins. Namaskar.